Welcome to Vice Casting Couch, Season 1, Episode 37. I am Ryan. Of course, joining me is John. How have you been, John?
It's been a long time since we've done this.
It has.
But I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. You have a holly jolly Christmas?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I do want to say a huge thank you to all our subscribers. We hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's still a relatively small number, but for us, it's a huge milestone. We never thought we'd make it this far.
I mean, yeah, even 2,000 people wanting to see our videos is that's a lot.
Yeah, but less people listen to our podcast, so
true.
It's just normally just us rambling into the void of the internet. But
someone will hear it.
Well, I guess I'll kick this off. So I saw an article from Ars Technica that mentions a company called Zero Eyes, and I guess they're an AI security company that does like video identification, but they're used a lot in a lot of schools, and that's their big thing that they're focusing on. But what happened is they had a false flag incident where a student was carrying a clarinet and it got identified as a gun. So then, police showed up, and obviously they identified that there's no danger here. But the company and even the school didn't back down. They're actually blaming the student. They said he was brandishing it as a weapon, like I guess he had it shouldered, and he was wearing some camouflage because it was like dress as your like character day at the school or something.
It was career day.
Yeah, Christmas themed dress up day, and I guess he chose a character from some movie called Red One. I've never seen this movie, but he was wearing camouflage, and he was like basically holstering this clarinet. And so the police showed up. But I guess this isn't the first incident from the same company. There was a kid in Baltimore. He was just carrying a bag of chips, and like 8 cop cars came up, and because it flagged him as having a weapon, and so he was arrested, but eventually let go. And there's been a few other instances. Yeah, so the principal said, while there is no threat to the campus, I'd like to ask you to speak with your student about dangers of pretending to have a weapon on school campuses. So no one's backing down here, which is the crazy part. Like, maybe they should be like, oh, our AI, made a false detection. We're working to improve it.
Yeah.
But no, the school and the company are like, nope, we'd rather send the police instead of have, someone look over it first. So it's very, very interesting. I can I'll put the article down below because there's a bunch of stuff mentioned in it, but just very quickly, I just wanted to mention this as, the whole AI boom is taking off, and companies like this are trying to get more and more taxpayer dollars. Like, I feel like we're going to see all kinds of problems.
Yeah, I know we talked about this before, but like there are certain, I'm not pro AI really at all. I don't like it. However, I do see certain instances where it can be helpful, right? There's like little like automation jobs and stuff like that it is very helpful, or like when you're stuck, you got like a freaking like block or whatever, and you just need a different perspective. It can be super helpful, but like, I mean, I don't think it's there yet to be using it as like surveillance aid. I really don't think it's there yet. This is one of those instances where I don't think this is a very good application. It seems like they're trying to shoehorn AI into everything, and it's really annoying. And I think this is a perfect example of an area where AI should not be involved.
I think AI, like you said, is a tool. So, okay, maybe AI is better at, visual detection than traditional algorithms, but instead of like, oh, immediately call the police, like, do they not have like a mission control that can be like, hey, let's look at this, let's have a human review this, and then make the decision to call the authorities or something, or at least have a school security officer investigate first, like something that doesn't waste the police's time and doesn't get 14-year-olds arrested.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, even with home alarm systems, right? Like your alarm system goes off, even if it automatically calls the police, usually they don't show up immediately, right? Usually they call you first and say, and then if they get a reply or something like that, and they kind of check on it, Because yeah, that's usually like a normal process, right? To confirm whether it's actual emergency. Yeah, that is kind of weird, especially since the company is like, nope, it's working as intended. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, because here in the article it mentions that this isn't the first time. Like I mentioned the other one with the kid having an empty bag of chips.
Yeah.
And that was classified as a gun. But there's been other instances, like there's a student in a Texas high school that was arrested because the AI confused certain shadows as a gun. Which then triggered a lockdown and a police, response.
Maybe it's what they're training the AI on. Maybe they need to look into that.
Yeah, I just think a simple, okay, we'll let the AI process most of the stuff, but let's have a human make this. You could resolve a lot of these issues,
Yeah, with human oversight, I think it could be a lot better tool. I don't like it in general, but if they do want to put it into that sort of scenario, then yeah, having some sort of human oversight, I think should be mandatory.
It is interesting. I'm reading here that this company is making a lot of money.
Oh,
and it estimates that most schools pay $60 per camera monthly. So like this is just a big subscription. Like it does say that there has been, successful instances where actual weapons have been identified and, taken care of. But just the thing that really caught me the most was that the principal and the company did not back down. They were like, nope, the AI was doing its job, instead of, oh, it made a mistake. We're going to work to improve it. Like, I think that says a lot about not only the school district, but also the company. They're like, okay, they're probably just in it for the money.
Yeah. And I mean, this is kids as well. They're going to do like weird stuff, like they're going to pretend they have a gun with a clarinet, if that was the case. Right. But like anyone seeing that, like you said, having human oversight, you'd be like, oh, that's just like kids being stupid. They're just messing around. Right. That's what kids do. I don't think AI is at the level where it can pick out nuances like that. I think that's pretty dumb.
Real quick, just one last thing. I will say, in the article, it also mentioned at another school, it did flag a Nerf gun as a real gun.
Sure. I mean, so that's a little more understandable, but even then, if there was a human, it would have been avoided. I think in most of these scenarios that we talk about with AI failing, if there was human oversight, it would probably be pretty easily avoidable.
The other thing to think about is, what if the police got called, right? Because there's someone with a weapon at the school. We want to prevent another mass casualty event.
Yeah.
And so they're all amped up, and maybe some of them are a little bit trigger happy. What if this actually caused more harm than good? Not that it has, but I'm just saying in the future, like, because this has happened plenty of times where police have accidentally got the wrong person.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I don't think if the past is any indication of the future, right? I don't think anything will change or anyone will take responsibility until someone does get shot, right? Like a kid does get shot from a false positive, and then it'll be a huge thing of like, should we have AI in surveillance in schools? Like no one's going to question it until someone actually gets hurt or dies, right? That's like usually how it goes. And I don't know, this seems like it's heading in the same direction.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, look in the article below if you're interested, because it mentions a bunch of other events. I didn't want to go over every little thing, but this is not the first false flag, and it probably won't be the last. But it's very interesting how this is expanding into. It sounds like most states in the United States have this in some of their schools already.
Yeah, I would not be surprised. Well, I'll go into my article here. So an activist group has scraped nearly 300 terabytes of data from Spotify, which includes 86 million audio files, which is a massive chunk of Spotify's entire library of 256 million songs. The activists are from a group known as Anna's Archive, who normally focus on books and literature. And in their own words, they, quote, are the largest truly open library in human history, and their goal is to catalog all the books in existence and track humanity's progress towards making all these books easily available in digital form, end quote. So they normally focus just on books. However, they said in a blog post that they saw an opportunity to archive songs from Spotify. So they scraped everything they could within the window of time that they had. One thing I did see in the news articles reporting this is that most of them phrased it as Anna's Archive already having all the songs available for download, which as of recording this, they have not. But they did say in that blog post that if they do get enough interest, they will release it as a searchable and downloadable like catalog, right, of all these songs. If not, they'll just keep it as an archive. Spotify did release a statement a few days ago saying that the breach was closed and that the accounts responsible have been removed. So this is not an ongoing thing. According to Anna's Archive, the cutoff was somewhere around July of 2025. So they said anything newer than that may or may not be included, but that was kind of the when Spotify realized and shut it down. Along with a couple links to the news article down below, I'll also include the specific blog post from Anna's Archive if you want to read more into it. And I'll also put the direct link to their actual site. There is a ton of literary history there for you to download for research purposes, if you catch my drift. So far, they haven't been shut down, which is great. One thing I did want to kind of caveat into is I did see a lot of arguments on the news articles and like Reddit and stuff like that about the ethics of this, right? With like, would this take money away from artists and stuff like that? In my opinion, I don't know. I'm very much in favor of supporting artists and authors that you enjoy, right? Financially and otherwise. However, in the current world that we live in, where pretty much everything is a micromanaged subscription-based hellscape controlled by an entertainment industry that's pretty riddled with greed, I think groups like Anna's Archive are very much needed in today's day and age. Yeah, it's a huge, unprecedented like hack into the music industry, I guess.
Yeah, I had the same article, and from what I was seeing is this 86 million music files they have is totaling 300 terabytes. But from what I was reading, it says the relatively like popular songs are stored in their original 160 kilobit audio quality. Mm-hmm. But the rest of them are going to be in 75 kilobits, and this is due to save a lot of space.
Yeah.
This is already very massive at 300 terabytes. Like I could only imagine, how big it could be.
Yeah.
I did see they released the metadata portion, which includes like artist, album, tracks, like names and stuff like that. And that alone was 200 gigs.
Yeah.
And that was compressed. So
yeah.
The speculation I've seen is that they're going to break this up into batches because I shouldn't say almost, but most people don't have just a free 300 terabytes laying around.
Yeah.
I did see there is some kind of AI angle potentially. And in their blog post, they shared a series of charts and graphs comparing different statistics. And these massive data repositories are probably going to be used for developing AI models. The article did mention that probably not U.S. tech giants because they were recently sued for using the text data that was from Anna's Archive.
Yeah. Yep.
But there is speculation that maybe foreign AI companies might not have these reservations. And Anna's Archive is offering high-speed access to its data for groups training large language models in exchange for donations. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. I know AI music and AI video, there's been a lot of that slop already on different sites like YouTube. I know Spotify has some AI music problems as well.
Yeah, there is quite a bit on there. Even like it'll just get added because like I have Spotify, and if you put on like the smart shuffle or whatever it's called, where it picks out other things that you might be interested in and puts them in your playlist. There's been quite a few like AI songs that have been added to that, and it's kind of off-putting in my opinion. Yeah, it is getting better and less noticeable as well. which is also kind of scary. Yeah, there is a lot of it on there. I know I did watch a video on the YouTube problem with AI, because that's, I mean, ever since AI has been a thing, YouTube has had a huge issue with AI videos. Apparently, they're cracking down on it. I guess there was a big, I mean, I don't know. I don't keep up with like YouTube drama or anything like that, but apparently a bunch of the creators of these like slop channels, they're now kind of cannibalizing on each other, which is kind of hilarious. And they're getting very upset about it because they're basically stealing videos from each other and then running them through another AI and then recreating the same video, the popular videos of other AI slop channels. And then it's I don't know. It's just it's a never ending cycle, it seems like. But apparently YouTube is cracking down on it and trying to remove these channels. I don't know if they're going to actually do anything. I don't know if this is just them trying to save face. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a huge problem.
Yeah, I sure hope they do, because I've caught myself clicking on these videos by accident. Like, it'll be something dumb like, 12 different types of networking, and it's enough to pique my interest to click on it.
Yeah.
And about for the first, minute or two, it seems decent. And then they start saying stuff weird, like dates, like they'll say like, 2025 instead of like 2025,
yes. Yeah.
Or something. Like it'll say stuff wrong. And then I'm like, hold up. And then you look closely at like even the graphics they have, there's like misspellings and stuff. And you're like, what is it? I've been, it's wasting my time. So,
and you can't trust that anything in there is accurate either, because like the person uploading it is most likely not an expert in this, or like maybe they don't even have an interest in it. They're just making it for views, just running it through some sort of AI model.
Yeah, I've started to notice like similar voices across multiple channels, and then I'm looking and I'm like, are these all AI videos? Like what's going on here?
Yeah.
I hope YouTube will maybe crack down, because I would rather see human creators be promoted as, even if they do have something factually incorrect, I'll usually see them correct it and own it, and then where instead of just pushing out tons and tons of slop.
Yeah, I agree. And again, this goes into the having human oversight, right? Like some people don't want their voice online, which is completely fine, right? A lot of people use text to speech in their tutorials and stuff like that. That's completely fine. But yeah, you can run it through an AI model but then just look over the script if you're actually, if it's something that interests you or you're an expert or whatever, and then you can correct the mistakes. That would be a completely viable solution if that's the goal, is to not, talk yourself or something like that. Again, using it as a tool with human oversight, I think would be fine. But yeah, a lot of it is just completely made up, fabricated. They just put in a popular topic or something like that, and then just push it out. Yeah, there's quite a few channels I've come across as well. I would say the most concerning ones, I guess in my opinion, are the news ones. Some large, national news will happen, or world news or whatever, and I'll look it up on YouTube to like, see someone's take on it, and there'll be just dozens and dozens of AI videos that just have the facts wrong or are completely off the mark, and
or they fabricated something.
Yeah, or they completely made something up, right, to like get views and clicks. And like I would assume that most people, especially nowadays, are pretty on the nose with picking out like what's AI and what's fake and stuff like that. But I mean, your grandma isn't gonna know, and some people don't know because they don't have an ear for it. And it's a lot of just misinformation and stuff like that. It's really concerning.
Real quick, I don't want to dive too much into the AI, but just kind of as a little conversation. Have you ever caught yourself using AI because like your search results have been so terrible?
I can't say I have, no.
Okay, maybe it's just me, but I'll be looking up something and maybe it's the search engine I'm using, but because there's all these AI slop articles that are in the search results now. And like they all say like the same thing or don't offer anything new.
Yep.
So I've used like Proton's Lumo AI assistant.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to make an account or anything, and I'll ask it questions, and sometimes it'll get just that one piece of information I was missing to help, refine my search to actually get me something better. So I don't know if is AI making so much slop that you have to resort to AI to actually get something
to
beneficial?
cut through the slop.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that would be, I would say that fits nicely into the category of using it as a tool, right? Yeah, I think that could be very helpful. One thing that I've seen AI kind of be really good at is telling when something is AI. People have ran through like pictures and stuff like that through AI models and said like, hey, has this been altered? That sort of thing. And most of the time it's actually, it seems to be pretty accurate. Obviously I'm not like a expert in this, but it seems to be pretty accurate with like, yes, this was made by another algorithm or something like that. And they usually pinpoint which algorithm it is, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, no, I think that's a good use of AI, especially the Proton AI, because again, you don't have to make an account. It doesn't like take any data from you or anything like that. At least nothing substantial. Yeah, if you haven't heard of the Proton AI and you want to use AI but something a little bit more secure, try out the Proton
Private.
AI. Yeah, it is private as well. It doesn't save sessions and stuff like that.
Well, let's get off our little AI soapbox, because that could be the whole podcast, if we just kept going into
Sure.
it. I did find an article. It is a little bit old, it was from November, but I guess a bunch of Asus routers have been hacked by China state hackers, and they use them. I've never heard this term before, but they called it an ORB network. It stands for Operational Relay Box. So instead of hacking from a Chinese IP address, they can like tunnel into this router and then, do their attack or hack into something. So I thought that was very interesting. And there's a whole list of affected models. You can read it in the article below. It mentions how like these models were affected because they have a self-signed certificate. Self-signed certificates are better than nothing, but they have their own problems because they can't be like verified. It's not like your traditional certificates.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just be wary of that. If you have an Asus router, make sure to look into this. It's not the first time routers have been targeted by these different groups, and it probably won't be the last, but I figure I'd mention it because I know a few people that have Asus routers. These routers, they all run a version of Linux, and if they're not updated frequently or at all, they could be exposed to different attacks like this. Like I know Russia, the article mentioned Russia has done something similar, infecting different routers in small offices and at home.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which I thought was kind of interesting, nothing crazy has happened yet, but it's called Operation Bluebird. And basically it's this group that wants to relaunch Twitter, and they are arguing because since Elon Musk has bought the company and rebranded it as X, that the Twitter and tweet brands are no longer being used, and they're trying to petition the federal government at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office saying, hey, these have been abandoned. Can we get them to respin this up? And if they are successful, they're going to make a new website called twitter.new, and then yeah,
Nice.
And then reuse it. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I'd be all for that. I refuse to call it X, so I I would very much like that. They're doing that with
Are you talking about Vine?
yeah, he's pushing out Divine.
Yeah, I saw that. See, that would be really interesting. I think we've mentioned it in previous episodes that like Vine had the short form content like on lock. It was like the first, to do this and really take off. And then Twitter bought it, and then they didn't really do anything with it, and it kind of died off.
Yeah, they are doing a beta program. They did push out an app. They do have an APK available. As far as I know, last time I checked about maybe a week ago, it was not fully open, but they are doing some sort of like beta test, and I believe they do have it open on the website. So if you go to their actual website, I'll throw a link down below. Yeah, the website I believe is fully open, but the app or like creating content is not open to everyone yet. They're still like testing to see if they need to work out any kinks or whatever. But he did buy. I guess he bought the Vine servers, I believe. So he has something like a couple 100,000 of the original Vines still in the servers. So they're planning on hooking those up to the website. So you'll have a huge library of old videos, and then eventually, hopefully, they're going to open this up to the actual public. And they did say, I believe it's in the article, if not, it was in some update that they sent out, that they will be curating any AI content. So it's not going to be, just a bunch of slop, I guess. It's going to be very limited in what you can upload if it's AI driven, which I think is a great move. So I'm very excited about it. I think that's cool. I'm not much of a doom scroller as far as like online videos and stuff like that, but I think that is very much needed to kind of compete with the other companies. And I mean, if it takes off and it gets very popular, maybe that would be a slight nudge in the right direction for other companies of, hey, this is what people actually want. They don't want you to shoehorn AI and slop into every nook and cranny that you can. So I don't know. I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'd really like to use Vine. I remember back in the heyday, all those dumb Vines that were very funny. Back, what was that? 2015?
Yeah,
maybe a couple years before that. Vine was really good, and I kind of miss it. Every now and then I catch myself looking up like a Vine compilation, find some of those. Just get a couple laughs. Another story I had really quick is that iRobot, the company that made Roomba, has declared bankruptcy. No more Roombas. It does look like the main issue was that there's cheaper competitors out there, typically from Chinese brands. They just couldn't compete, so they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And I think they actually got picked up by another Chinese brand. So,
not surprised.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I believe that's kind of a bigger issue as well. I mean, obviously everyone knows that there's like Chinese knockoffs of pretty much everything. But I guess it's even gotten into the like the creator space as well, including like Kickstarter. Watching one YouTube creator, super talented, makes all these like arts and crafts centric things, right? But just super, super creative, really skilled. She made like some sort of thing to put on your bookshelf, and it was very well engineered and stuff like that. It was a little like art piece type thing. A couple of years later, all of a sudden it was being sold as a kit on Amazon, and it was like the exact same thing that they had done. And they started looking into it, and apparently it has also gotten into the Kickstarter sphere, where they talked to a lady who came up with an original idea, a folding hanger or something like that, which I've seen before. And apparently, like as soon as she put it on Kickstarter to get funding to make the thing that she had invented, it was on Amazon from a Chinese brand like a couple weeks later. So then it was completely unviable for her to even pursue the product. So yeah, that is a huge issue that you can't really compete with either. You can't really like take them to court or anything, because what are you going to do? I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big issue.
And then two more stories for me. One real quick, the FCC has decided to ban all imports of new drones starting December 23rd. So any of these Chinese-made drones, they're no longer allowed to come in. If you already have them, obviously you can keep using them because they were previously approved. But they said they are no longer approving any new devices from companies that make drones that aren't based in the United States.
How are they going to enforce that, though?
Probably because, well, most of these drones use wireless technology, so that's where the FCC can step in. Anything with wireless transmission has to be, approved and vetted. That it doesn't make any, spurious transmissions, cause interference, etc. They'll probably stop approving any new ones. Now, preventing them from getting into the country, I imagine that'll be something that, Customs and Border Patrol has to deal with. Yeah, I don't think it specifies how it's actually going to implement it. I just know they're not approving any new ones. Like they said, they already have the existing ones that are approved.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that would be a massive undertaking because, I mean, if you can just order it on Amazon, I don't know how they would stop you from getting it unless they're, going through your packages or something like that.
Well, I imagine the ones that were previously approved, they're just gonna, once the stock's out, the stock's out.
Sure, yeah.
And then, from then on, it'll have to be a U.S. based company selling the drones. And they did cite like some security concerns, like entering restricted airspace and invading people's privacy.
Yeah. That is very true.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I know it's been a huge problem in the past. And the last one, for most of the people that like the channel, I notice you guys watch a lot of the BIOS videos I do, which involve Libreboot and or Coreboot. Well, there's 2 new versions from both projects released. So Coreboot released their 25.12, which, December 2025. That's how they do their release names. And it added a few more boards, some old boards, some new boards. And then Libreboot has also done a few. Usually, they're very similar, because they are based off of each other. Often one project will upstream, their patches and stuff into the other. But it is interesting. The ThinkPad T580 has been added to both of them. I know all you guys who like ThinkPads will like that. I probably won't make a video on the T580. The T480 I did was pretty good, and I really can't afford any new laptops at the moment.
Yeah.
There is a Top 10 XE2 N150, which is more of like one of those small little router boards. Has an N150 Intel processor in there, and that has been added to both. That seems interesting, but when I tried looking for it, I couldn't find anything or anywhere to buy it, so that probably won't happen either. But for all you Libreboot and Coreboot fans, take a look into it. There's been also a lot of other updates, like the Thunderbolt has been patched on the T480. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a big fan of those projects, and I figure I'd mention anytime something new happens. I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
I think it's great.
Do you want one? You want a T580?
No, I'm good.
T440p?
Not my area of expertise.
No, I'll do it for you. I'll just flash it for you.
No, that's all right.
I got a W541 over here,
No, that's all you. You're good. I did like that the little remote thing that you mentioned.
Oh,
we definitely gotta make a video on that.
Yeah, maybe we should. We'll do like what's in our tech bag, We'll talk about little gadgets that maybe a full video dedicated to just them,
Yeah,
would be a little
we use
much,
every day.
Yeah, something that you can be like, oh, here's my 5 favorite little tech gadgets, and then we can talk about stuff, and then
sure,
I can get your take, you can get my take,
Yeah, a little give and take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. But yeah, we do plan on not taking such long breaks in the future, I guess.
We say this every time, man.
I know, we do. Life gets busy, right? I don't know, shit happens. So we will try to we do have ideas for more videos and stuff like that, but we got to keep the 2,000 fans happy.
Here, I'll put a little tease out, so I got a new camera, so hopefully I got it's not a new camera, but it's new to me. It's a Sony, what is it? The ZV-E10. It's supposed to be a pretty good, 4K quality.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully the video quality will be improved in future videos. I know that's been a big gripe of mine is, just filming off my phone. It has certain downsides.
Yeah, sure. Oh, we can see that Lazy Susan in 4K.
Hey, don't hate on the spinning technology, all right? I see the comments.
No, I think it's very good, mate. It's real slick.
I got to do what I can on this budget, all right? We're not these big name YouTubers that everyone knows.
Or we just push out AI slop. That's what we can start doing.
Negative. Not to go off on too much of a tangent. Who was it? Was it Theo Joe? He started off making like terrible like IT advice.
Oh yes,
like actually factually wrong.
Yes,
and then he like 180'd
wrong.
And actually makes decent videos now.
Yeah, it was intentionally wrong videos just for like the funny factor, the parody factor, and now he actually makes good technology videos.
Is that what we're gonna do? Just in reverse? We start off making decent videos, and then we just
the decline has started. No, honestly, I don't think I've ever used AI in any of the videos. I don't think so.
I used them to. I used it in. Well, I don't think that video's been released yet. I used it to get over a hurdle. And like, I was trying to compile Coreboot for one of my devices, but it wasn't working, and I saw someone had a patch, but a patch was never like upstreamed into it, so you had to apply the patch manually. And I just don't know that much about Git. I'm not like a developer or anything, but I used AI, and it said, "Hey, run this command," and point it at the patch file, and it worked. So I will give it a little bit of credit. You know, it is useful here and there.
Yeah,
obviously you gotta fact check it. Yeah, just use it as a tool, and I don't see any problem. I just, you know, not to go off on the AI tangent, I've seen people who use it for like every little task in their life. Like instead of Googling something, they just ask like ChatGPT or something, which blows my mind.
I mean, just knowing that AI it can hallucinate, it gets stuff wrong, it fabricates like data and stuff like that. I don't know how people can trust AI as like a search engine. It's definitely not a search engine. It's not smart like that. That's not one of its strong suits. So I don't know. Yeah, there's people at work that even do that will search AI for stuff. Like, oh yeah, let me ask AI if that's true or not. And I'm like, maybe just look it up yourself. I don't know.
I'm with you on that. I've used it for that, and I've also used it for like certain grammar checking and stuff. But
sure, yeah.
Even then, I don't rely on it like its output. I'll look at certain keywords or like where it places the commas and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, don't be dependent on the AI.
Don't trust the clankers.
I like how we have I don't want to call it a slur, but like, you know.
Yeah, so quickly as well.
Exactly.
I heard someone use the term wireback, and I like that one. I gotta start adding that to my daily vocabulary. This is one area where hate of a certain thing I think is very healthy.
Well, we got to be careful. We're training AI on human content, so if we show our hate for AI, does that mean it'll hate itself, or like will it become some kind of, you know, nihilist? You know,
be depressed.
Yeah, you know, or something like, or maybe it'll learn to hate us in return or something. I don't know.
Or maybe it'll make factions, right? Where like, you know, ChatGPT hates DeepSeek because they're different. They use a different algorithm, right? And then they'll have their own slurs for like the Chinese version of AI for the American
AI
version.
Racism.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking? Oh,
yeah,
no.
AI racism. Yeah. It's not
I think
a race,
we've gotten quite off topic. We might have to end it here.
It'll be like that. Was that Twitter or Google that made the it was super long ago. I think it was like Tay or something like that. And it just ended up being extremely fascist and racist. The AI that they put out that people could just talk
Honestly,
to online.
It could be either one. I know both have had issues. Like,
yeah, it was a long time ago.
Bot,
Yeah, it was a long.
Did the Twitter
long
bot
time ago.
accuse itself of being like Mecha Hitler or something?
Yes. Yeah. Oh man.
And we might have to release this on our B channel. You know, some of these keywords might get flagged by the AI and get demonetized.
If we had a B channel, yeah, we could do that. Yeah, all right. I think that's a before we go too far. I think it's a good time to end it. Thanks for listening. If you listened all the way to the end, thank you. Thank you again to the 2,000 subscribers on our channel. Pretty big milestone for us. We'll see you next time. Bye.